Namaskaram. So I must thank my brother Gokulan for giving this opportunity. I think he was talking last year. It took 1 year for him to invite me. Correct. And as he said, last week there was a schedule. But I am very specific. If I drive 2 hours, it took 1.5 hours. Exactly, it was showing 50 minutes. So I started at 8 o'clock. Send him a message, sharp at 8, I am starting. But there was some accident there. And the traffic was stuck for 25 minutes. Otherwise, I am very punctual, number one. Number two, when I come, if I spend 4 hours, I must at least use 4 hours here. Because I am not a person who will come and give some blah 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 and go. I must impact you. That is my idea. And thank you for gathering some information and reading. That's all old one. Okay. I don't update my profiles that often. I am every day updating my videos on YouTube. If I am not there also, it will come. Because tomorrow's, day after tomorrow's, everything is already posted. Because this I have to process today. I do myself all this. So by the time it finishes 4 hours, it takes another 8 hours sometime. Gokulanji and me was more close by accident, by mistake, in some program. I happens to be there. He is there in, great man, he is there in Bala Gokulam syllabus making and all that. I am not there in any of this. But I started Bala Gokulam probably in all the North Indias. Delhi, 40 centers. I used to conduct training programs like this in 2 years. Bhopal I started. Kuwait, you can see in the underground cellar and all I was conducting classes. Not now, 20 years back, 23 years back. That time if 10 chapels are there, footwears are there, police will come and catch. So all restricted. Today it's not restricted. Saudi Arabia, UAE, most of the places. So my saga started long back, not now, 20 years back. I know M.A. Krishnanji, the International Bala Gokulam in Thrissur, I was the vice chairman, M.A. sir was the... I don't like to call somebody sir, I don't like to be called sir also. But he is called as M.A. sir for a long time. So that name itself has become M.A. sir. Last 2 months back, Indian Knowledge System, there was a conference in which he is not well now. So I went and sat with him for some time, recollected the old. Why am I saying this? There is a great poet in Kerala. Anybody from Kerala other than Gokulanji here? Kunjunni Master Day. He's called the Kunjunni Master. You know him? Don't know. Then don't tell you are a Keralite. Okay, it's a shame for Keralites. We had a great poet. Kunja means small. Chinna. You know what is Chinna, right? Unni means again small boy. The name itself was small. And he was a small short fellow. His height was only this much. And he wears a big kurta, white always, and a short dhoti. It's like a trouser. I know him when I was a student. He is from a place called Tripura. It's a beautiful place, Tripura. My wife is from near to Tripura. I am not from that place. I am from North Kerala. Write down all the technical terms. I am going to ask you all this. Understood? Don't hesitate to write. If you fill more number of pages, you are the brightest student. You are not teachers for me, you are students for me. Okay. If you don't have the habit of collecting knowledge, your children will never learn. No good teachers. They don't require good teachers. They want good. What? You all call everybody Acharya, Acharya, right? Do you know the real meaning? Looking at somebody, you must feel, oh, I should be like him. If somebody is like that around you, you can call him as an Acharya. Not everybody on the road. Did he teach you something? Did you look at him? Learned something from him? Not necessarily they teach. You want to sit or you want to stand? Full time. Okay. So, Kunjundi Master was a great Acharya. I learned a lot of things looking at him. He did not marry. He was a bachelor. Bachelor in, you are all Telugu or other than Telugu anybody? No, if somebody is other than Telugu, they should raise hand. That's how you should respond. If I am asking somebody Telugu, the Telugu people say most of us. No. Yeah, I am so and so. Tell that. Shout. Ami Bangla bolchi. Louder. Hindi, which place? Bihar. Okay. Good. Assam. Oh, wonderful. Assamam. Nothing is equal. That's why it's called Assamam. No, I am not joking. It's how it is. Assam is Silchar. I went. I used to go to Arunachal Pradesh, Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalayas. Silchar is where the yoga. You can look at Silchar DrTPS. You will see some yoga practices there. Bangla. Okay. Marathi, Maharashtra. Good. Where? Kottayam. Okay. So Kunjundi Master was a real Acharya. His poetries were only one-liner. Only one line or two lines. Nothing great. You know what's the meaning of Aksharam? Yeah, but Aksharam is also called alphabets, right? Aksharam is alphabet. So what is not lost throughout life is Aksharam. Where do they learn this? Where do they learn Aksharam? In the youngest. Correct? Whichever language. It's very simple to learn. But not everybody puts Aksharam together to make nice words. To make words from Aksharam, what is that required is creativity. You have to be highly creative. Everyone should write few Aksharam. If you are English medium, say English. Start writing all letters which I know with A. All words which I know with B. Write up to Z. How many vocabulary you will have? That much brighter you are. Very simple. That is the best exam for nursery, LKG, UKG. Understood? And then you will know, they know many more words than what you teach in your classroom. Language skill is by number of words. Technical words. One great ability for young children, they can gather. When you ask them to write, they may not even know whether it is Telugu, Hindi, English. Don't worry. Write everything. Acharya, A. starting with A. Acharya is a word. Correct? Don't worry about the meaning and which language it is from. You do the same thing with the 10th class children. Do that with the 6th class children. As a language teacher, you should do that. I am not a language teacher. I am not a language teacher. I am a linguistics man. There is a lot of difference. But then when you use these words in day-to-day activity, you don't call him as a language expert generally. You need an MA, Master of Atnana. Correct? Kunjunni Master was a great linguistics man. He had a lot of words. Aksharam. All of you will understand. It's a Malayalam poem, but I am going to. If you don't understand, recite it 4 or 5 times, you will understand it. Every language is like that. Use it, then you will learn it. If you learn it, you will not use it. That is the biggest problem with education. You learn it, write exam, get marks. All of you passed 10th class? Can you write 10th class exam and then get marks now and pass marks? I'll tell you, teachers who are teaching subject in that class, physics, if they write physics exam, they may fail sometime. So shameful. That is because you are not learning for exams. Correct? I was a professor in engineering college. I taught maths, physics, chemistry, English, computer science, mechanical, civil, electronics, electrical, most of the subjects. I am sure if I write exam, I will not pass in all of them. Got it? Because the subject is too vast, I may do one part of it. That's it. I was an MBA professor without a timetable. Because whichever class teachers are absent, I go there and start teaching from where they stopped. Understood? Because I am MBA. So I know MBA. I know the syllabus. I know all the optional subjects inside. Though I have not studied that, I studied later. You have optional, right? Optional means what? If you want, you can study. To get a degree, you need not study. So what I did? I continued my learning after MBA also. All the other optionals also I studied. JNTU, all the MBA. So syllabus is very, very limited. You should go beyond syllabus. Kunjunni Master was a master, but I don't think he taught anything in the class according to syllabus. That is what is called new education policy, informal, and all of you follow syllabus. That is because you are not a great teacher like Kunjunni Master, right? You will pass the time. The end of the day, how much is given? So today I don't know what should I speak. I just came. Somebody asked PowerPoint. I said, you want PowerPoints? I have thousands. Those are not new, maybe 20 years back. After that I stopped PowerPoints. I only powerful points. Got it? So if somebody comes with the PowerPoint, you understand he is a bacha starting the job, right? Stupid actually. They read. I also did that. Copy from somewhere. Today it's very easy to write books also. You want which subject you want? You tell me tomorrow I'll write a 300-page book. Not at all difficult. There is a chat GPT. You tell the subject, they will write books. How many pages you should define. That's it. Understood? But those words, when you put it creatively in your style. Recently I was there in Everest base camp. You look at that poetry. How many beautiful words. It doesn't come just like that. You have to experience. You have to go there and stand and feel the chill and the cool. Then that words will come to you. Understood? You must go back to that situation. Not sitting on the computer, it will not come. So Kunjuni Master lived like that. He said he did not marry because he is so selfish. Because what do you call your spouse in English? Better half, right? That means your half has to be given to them. He says, I am so selfish, I don't want to give my half to anybody else in my life. Anyway, they are not your best half. Best half is waiting. Or you have to turn them after marriage from better half to best half. It never happened. The verge of death also, you will say, she is my better half only, not best half. Correct? So he says, Nyan, me, Ennattanne. I don't know how many of you have written Nyan now. This is the way to learn language. You understood what I am saying? I am a Keralite, I am here. You should learn at least few number of words and use it tomorrow. Nyan. I told already translation. That is learning. If you miss that ability to write, all of you are very powerful. 500 words per minute you can process. I am only using 150. Now 60. My speed is too less. I will increase it later to get tuned with me. Ear has got more ability than tongue. And you have 2 years. Understood? God has gifted like that. But what we do is we don't use it. The full capacity is never utilized. That capacity all of you lost. Children learn up to 6 years, 6,000 words. Up to 12 years, no. Today's children, this is old. Today's children will learn more than 10,000, 15,000. They are more powerful. A village child who is not linked with the public, they will learn 6,000 words. Today, a city in Hyderabad, I am sure my children would have had more than 20,000 words. Because they are from Kerala. They read and write Malayalam. Never learned academically at home. My son did a PhD in social science. It used Malayalam books thoroughly from the best libraries in Kerala. That means he can read and understand, rewrite. He can read poems, novels of Kerala. Studied in Hyderabad. Understood? Because both of us are Keralites, he lost another chance of another language. I am sure otherwise there is mother tongue and father tongue also. Earlier, mother tongue, father tongue, school tongue, everything was same. But today, children have ability, father tongue, mother tongue, social tongue, correct? School tongue. Friend's tongue is entirely different. I know Bangla because my roommate was a Bengali for 3 years. If I don't learn, I am stupid. Correct? I learned Gujarati because I worked in Gujarat for some time. I am in South India. I started learning Tamil, reading and writing when I was in 7th class. Because we had a lot of workers from Tamil Nadu. They want to write letters, they don't know Tamil. So I learned Tamil and used to write for them. I learned Russian when one of my colleague was studying in Russia. He taught me that. Intentionally he taught. He used to write only in Russian. One line, below that translation in English. And insist that use all that what is there in the inland, use it for replying, but reply only in Russian. Can you imagine somebody teaching? He was my classmate, BSc classmates. So I learned from my colleague. It's very simple. But what you should have? Aksharam. It is not, which is not having no charam. That is one meaning. In Malayalam, In most of the South Indian languages and Sanskrit also. Aram means, you know what is it? Which catches. Aram is which catches. Like a pucket. Pucket is called aram. Aksharame enikku ninne. I enikku ninne you. Aksharame, hey Aksharam, enikku ninne. You don't have to need a translation. Enikku. When I say like this, you understood it's for me, right? Ninne. That means understood. This is how language has to be learned. I don't have to translate. You put 6 children together of different languages one day. The end of the day, they will learn most of the languages. Very simple. Because they communicate. As become elderly, what do you do? I don't know his language. I don't know her language. So I don't have to communicate. We are lucky. Aksharame, enikku, ninne, iksha pidichu. Iksha means the super. Is a wah. Correct? Now today we use the word wah. The class was wah. No, earlier it was not like that. Sha. That's the last alphabet, right? That means it is the ultimate. That's the meaning. The class was ksha, means it was the penultimate class. What a great language is this. Correct? Aksharame, enikku, ninne, iksha, pidichu. Pidichu means caught. I caught you. Why? Because ninnil, in aksharam, there is aram. You remove ksha, aram, put ksha, aksharam. What a great creativity is this. From one word he creates poetry like this. That is creativity. How many of you do that? If you don't do, how can you expect your children to be creative? And do you think you cannot do it? Be with me half day. I'll make you creative. That's what I do in my class. Every teacher needs to be creative. Creativity comes only when you are having freedom. You cannot be creative in a strict syllabus. Correct? 10th class, every teacher keep changing. One period, another period. Correct? That is because 40 minutes they have to deliver the syllabus. After 8th grade, the whole syllabus is only abstract knowledge, which prepares children for higher education, for career. Got it? After 8th grade. Up to 7th grade, creativity. Life. You must know life around. You see the syllabus, whichever syllabus is that. It is about life and life around you. Life, your life, and life around you. So that means to make you physically fit. What should happen? I must be physically fit. I must know which food is good. All that will be before 7th class. Not 8th and above. What to eat? What is good food? How is your environment? Which are all the plants around? Which are all the planets around? How the climate happens? You look at the syllabus. And everybody knows. We all know that, right? And little general knowledge. What? Who is this person? Who is that person? Who is that person? You should know this. You take a new page where you can tear it and then give it to me. Because I will give you some exams in between to check how much knowledge you have. Use only pen, not a pencil. Like KG children will have always a pencil because they are bound to make mistakes. Therefore, every pencil comes with an eraser. I keep saying remove eraser first. Don't give pencils with erasers. Because you are prompting them to do mistakes. Understood? You will not hear this from anybody else. I have not heard this from anybody else. Why am I saying that you will not hear this from anybody else? Because I have not heard from anybody else. If he is copied from somebody else, I will also copy, right? I have not heard somebody saying this. So what you should do is don't. Always oh, I am going to erase it. Then you are bound to make mistakes. Only once. And you will give that paper to me at the end. You write your name. Okay. I am seeing a lot of great personalities here. This is an academic institution, right? You are all teachers? 100%. 100% teachers? Okay. There is a great man. Everybody loves him. He was in my department, or I was in his department. He was senior to me, right? So I should tell the other way. But before I joined, he left the department. But still people will say he is a space scientist. You understood? But he is not a space scientist. He was a space scientist. He retired from defense. So he is a defense scientist. There is no difference. Instead of putting satellite there, you put missile, it becomes blast. That's all the difference. Send it to space, it is in space. Send it to somewhere else, it blasts. Rocket is safe. Either missile rocket or space rocket. That's why he sold all that knowledge, what he has from space department to defense, and then got named there. You must know how to copy. Okay. He is a great creative man. He had a lot of personal touch with the people. Therefore, he became successful. And Hyderabad specifically, Andhra Pradesh. Today, we have to say Andhra, right? No, I am saying earlier Hyderabad, we had a great chief minister, Chandrababu Naidu. If at all he is famous, Chandrababu Naidu is the reason. Chandrababu Naidu made him as president. Otherwise, you would have never known to each one of you. I'll tell you. How many space scientists do you know? Eh? So you don't know him as a space scientist. You know him because he was a president. Understood? So in space department, when I know, tomorrow if one of you will, how many people know the teachers in this country, vice chancellors in this country? Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, you know, because he was the president. And he declared his own birthday as Teachers' Day. What a stupid teacher is this? And what a stupid teachers are you celebrating Teachers' Day when a teacher became a president? Actually, you should celebrate Kalam's birthday because after presidentship, he became a teacher. Are you getting what I am saying? When teacher becomes a president, celebration means you are thinking president is bigger and teacher is less, right? But Kalam believed that teacher is greater, president is less. So he told, don't call me as a space scientist, don't call me as a defense scientist, don't call me as a president, but call me as a teacher. I also left. I am not a retired person, don't see this. I would have been in service even now. Okay? My wife had sent a photograph today addressing great gathering of a great conference in India, in Delhi. I have sent your picture. I am also addressing teachers. Understood? We joined together. She is a director now. I would have also been there. But I left. Why I left? Because I love to change lives of people. That's what Kalam also did. Correct? We know so many people. So do you know Kalam? Do you know Kalam? How many such people you know in your life? Write down. You know history of India. You understood? I taught you how to learn language. Now I am talking how to learn history. Correct? So do you know really Kalam? How many Kalams you know? Only one Kalam? How many Asad you know in your life? Don't tell me, right? That's your ability. If you know only one, only that much. If you know many, you know that many. Do you know there was a great person with Azad and Kalam together as name? Both are coming in his name. What is he? Who is Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad? Who was he? Do you know he was the first education minister for India? Do you know he is the man who started University Grants Commission for India? Do you know which LKG school he studied? He did homeschooling. Never attended schools in his life. Shame for all of you to become teachers and saying that attention, listen to me, not required. I don't think. But he was a great reader. So how many of your students are readers? And what do you read? Do you read history? How many of your students look at Google Map? Understand the whole world. Got it? Where is Myanmar? Anybody? Which is the capital of Myanmar? Which is the capital for Sri Lanka? Are you writing answers for this? You are supposed to give me that paper. I am asking a lot of questions. All questions are assignments. Anybody? Which is the capital for Sri Lanka? Everybody started Colombo. Wrong, Amma. That was long back. It is renamed. That's why I am asking. Otherwise, I will not ask. It's a normal general. You are not updated. What you learned in your class some time back, you prepared for UPSC. You have a doubt? You know, you give me your LKG, UKG students for half day. I will teach them 100 countries and capitals. I cannot teach you. Give that young kids, their brain is so vibrant. I told you now, up to 6 years, they can learn 10,000 words. You try from today, next 6 years, you cannot study 10,000 words. Because your neurons are already linked. You cannot learn more than what is there. Got it? Because to learn language, you need different skill, not a small skill. That skill we don't have. As we grow, we lose. Up to 12 years, I told you. How many? Maybe 10,000, 20,000 today. Up to 18 years, then reduces. The graph doesn't grow like this, it comes down. But if you have learned some slokas without even knowing the meaning, the neurons will get. That is why in childhood slokas are being taught. It is not to create any other specific reason, religious and all that. No. You may not even know the meaning. I never knew the meaning of slokas which I chanted in my childhood. Never. And full of mistakes. Because nothing was learned from textbooks. My mother, she was illiterate. I guess maybe up to 3rd grade. That too in a normal village school. I am from a small village. I studied in Malayalam medium up to 10th class. Okay. So I am not English educated. But then those language skill got imprinted. Language skill, not language. I am using words very carefully. The language skill, that's why I said linguistics. Got it? Without even knowing meaning, you push it. That is what a child is doing when they are maybe Tingle Tingle Little Star, London Bridge is falling down. May not know the meaning. They don't have London Bridge in front and falling and all that. But to create that impression, you have a beautiful color picture and you also teach, and without even knowing that, where is London Bridge? In London. That's a normal answer. You are stupid. London Bridge is not there because your poetry which is written 200 years back says it is falling down. Understood what I am saying? It's logical. Do you think 200 years is falling? Huh? So do you think London will allow to fall it? Somebody will put something. Correct? What happened to that? That bridge was purchased by Americans and it is in Arizona now. So where is London Bridge? Did you think like this? If you think like this, you are creative. If you don't think, all of you lift your hands. Lift your hands up. Take it on your head. My Janma ago finished, useless. Actually, you are all useless. We keep calling people useless fellow, right? You should call yourself useless. Call yourself. You write, I am. Write it. I am. Write it. I am useless. But that use can be made it into past tense by adding ed. Right? Useless. I am. Don't tell I don't have time, I have family, I am too busy, I have to travel. Doesn't stop you thinking. Thinking doesn't require time. It requires creativity. London Bridge, DrTPS. You will see a story which I made for this. Long back. In the whole story with a picture I have written all that. Where is Arizona? What happened? All that story. How creative you are. Thinking, ability to understand different aspects. If you are there, either LKG teacher or a senior teacher doesn't make difference. One permission which I asked when I was a professor in the engineering college was, as a professor I am supposed to teach only 1 hour per day. Okay. I take a cab and then go there 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And it's not a great institute where a lot of students are doing research. So that I am busy with research, library. When I go and see the library, there is no great books which I have not read. So what should I do? I asked a permission. I can go and sit in anybody's class. You understood now how do I teach a subject where they stopped? Because I am sitting in somebody's class. Every moment I don't sit in the staff room is not required. When my children used to write exam, I used to write exam. They may take 3 hours, I will take 1.5 hours. 1 hour, finish. After the exam, they will come, hey, out of syllabus. No, answer is here, you take it. I already wrote, right? Not my paper, every paper. You must test yourself. Am I creative? Am I learning? Am I doing what I am supposed to do? Correct? If you are not, then you are not learning. If you are not learning, you are not a good teacher. You are learning. I am sure you understand your students much better. Even in higher class, your students are learning maths, but they also know physics. But you don't know physics. Therefore, you are a handicapped fellow. Correct? So you are a handicapped teacher. I know only one subject, but your students know all the subjects, right? But assume that the other day I teach teachers in UK, United Kingdom. The other day one English teacher was teaching cause and effect, English subject. But I am a physics man, basically I am from physics. I love physics so much. There is a cause and effect in physics. The whole class I changed it into a physics class, but the subject taught is English. Look at cause and effect DrTPS. You will see that class. You will not see the other face. Because that's a private activity where I am not supposed to show that student's face. Okay? But not even sound. So you can see only my words. That's good enough. You will understand the cause and effect. How I related physics to English. Because physics also I am using English, right? There is no difference. Everything is same. Only for teachers, it is segregated and separate. For students, it is not. That too in the higher classes. That is why in the lower classes, one teacher for one class. Do you change after every 1 hour? One teacher, right? Because you have freedom. You can do everything what you want. But the end of 1 year, what should happen? They should become creative, number one. They should have mathematical skill. Because mathematics is a language, that is why. Don't think mathematics is a subject. Mathematics, I am a mathematician. But I love physics. Because the language of physics is mathematics. Language of geography is mathematics. Probably in Hyderabad, I must have taught 10,000s of geography teachers. 10,000s, not small number. Geography is full of mathematics. I am a social science teacher, I don't understand mathematics. That is why most of the children in the general knowledge, they fail because your geography teachers are bad. They by heart. Half an hour difference, 1 degree. India east to west, the time difference is there. That's mathematics. But geography teachers, you all have background of mathematics, right? Up to 10th class, did you learn mathematics? So do you have background? Yes, but foreground changes, you will say, I don't have background of mathematics. Because you don't even understand what is the meaning of background. Background is background. So all of you know mathematics up to 10th class. Minimum. Correct? I know social science up to 10th class. But I had not at all good teachers. I am recording, I am posting it the same. And my eldest brother, who was my social science teacher, listens to all my videos and agree that whatever I say is correct. He was my history teacher. Not at all good. The class was so boring, horrible. I am recording it. I will post it. He will see and say, yeah, I heard what you told. It's correct. The other day I went to Hampi and I posted pictures. I make beautiful videos of wherever I go. He says, this is Hampi. Oh, what a teacher I am. I used to teach about Hampi without even knowing what Hampi is. Correct? Do you think there is a difference? Going and seeing. Understand? Krishna Devaraya. I should at least have picture of Krishna Devaraya. Without that, if I start describing Krishna Devaraya from the textbook, where in a black and white picture with the two ladies bimbas beside, Krishna Devaraya sitting is there. So he was thinking it's like a bimba and then started giving blah 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 lectures. 40 minutes, finished. Krishna Devaraya. What Krishna Devaraya? Are you getting? Experience. So your class should be with experience. You should ask questions. How do you experience? You know, in the higher classes, when somebody's Wordsworth poetry have to be taught, about the poet there is one paragraph. LKG it is not there, no? Do you know who wrote Tingle Tingle Little Star? That students need not know, it's not there in the syllabus. Did you ask this question any time? If you don't ask, you call yourself as a teacher. You have no questions. Syllabus is given, I finished my class. What is the purpose of finishing class? You finished your life. What is the purpose? Your student should remember you. Understood? Your student should? You should make a print in their where you should make the print where? Where is your mother? Where is your father? Where is your grandfather? Where are your children, spouse? Louder. Where? Heart. Don't use English word. Heart is a useless thing. The biology teacher will tell you, why are you compressing your mother and father and everybody together in your heart? Because heart is a biological, correct? Because there is no equivalent word for manas, in English. But when your manas becomes vibrant, feeling comes, the heartbeat will change. Therefore, English people called it as heart. But heart is not manas. Manas is a software which you cannot show. But it is there everywhere. Every cell in you cannot open a computer and show me where is the software. But it works, right? Correct. Once it is on, it works. When we are live, manas works. So manas is the software. Now I have to teach. Earlier I used to teach about computer using human. This is the central processing unit. Brain is the backup media. Yeah, this is the hardware where every knowledge is kept. But software is which? Yeah, which gives input and output device. That is our indriyas. Our input and output device is indriyas. Correct? You touch something, taste it. Yeah, sweet. Who says this is sweet? Indriya. No. It goes into your manas. Manas detects it as sweet. So that's a processor. Got it? So Indriya should work with the manas, like input output device work with the software, and you get what you want, and you store it in your brain. Masala vada. Understood? Masala vada is never was there in your manas, but when I told masala vada, immediately from the hardware, masala vada came to the software, and you have a picture inside you. Correct? Your Indriya gets the picture. Smell is also there. The next Indriya gets the smell. Understood? Emotional, intellectual, social, all that together should develop in your children. They should get the smell of. You are making them to become so creative. So I don't have to sit and write my Everest poetry in Everest. Are you getting what I'm saying? Not that every moment I am thinking about it. But when I think about it, immediately the feeling will come. Manas. From the manas. Understood? There is a beautiful sloka, Saptashuddhi. You look at my sloka book, Nitya Sloka, DrTPS. There is a sloka called Saptashuddhi. Pranava, Anavyanodhana, Samaname, Shuddhyandam, Jyotirham, Virija, Vipatma, Bhuya, Sangha, Swaha, Vakmana, Chakshu, Srotra, Grana, Chikwaredo, Buddhya, Gudi, Sankalpame, Shuddhyandam, Vak, Mana, Chakshu, Srotra, Grana, Jihwaredo. Jihwaredo. Jihwa means esoteric, which cannot be defined. Something happens in my body, Jihwaredo, Buddhi. Using Buddhi, it connects together and then understands. Make me to understand this. This is what the sloka says. If you don't know, ask some priest in your temple. But don't ask him the meaning. He will run away. He may not know the meaning. He is chanting every day this. Because you should have Saptashuddhi. Then only he can become a pujari. So these are all the first training, like your nursery rhymes. Without even knowing the spelling, the children learn about a tingle, tingle, little star. Ask them to write, they may not even know. Before knowing the letter, they learn it, right? But when they learn higher, at least they should write it. At least they should translate. Mirsu, mirsu, akashamlu. Tingle, tingle, little star. Minnum, minnum, taragame, yendal budamani, idrishyam, mide, mide, manattu, vaiduryam bol minnunu. You must be able to translate it in your mother tongue and other tongue. Your class becomes creative. They understand. Learning is different, understanding is different, right? So, first is physical. What is physical? Yeah, it is not. You write down all that what your class should look like. You have some rules. This is how a class should be, right? Write down all that in one side. Okay? How much of that helps children to have physical, emotional, intellectual, social, creative? All that intellectual means creative, attitude setting, social means your value system, all that. I am putting them in one. And spiritual. Fivefold development. Okay? How these categories of what is to be done fits in developing a child. You will see most of them doesn't fit in your. What should happen is entirely different. But you don't have freedom. That is what new education policy says. But I am sure it will never happen. Because our system is so. We don't want change. If you don't do it in school, where do you do this? I am sure it will not happen. Got it? And you blame. Nothing happened. They're all useless. You know, all education system to make them for higher education. Only 10% of what knowledge you give in your classrooms make them to become higher education fit. The job wise, even like a professional degree like engineering, only 2%. Up to 12th class, what you learn, engineering, what is repeated in first year, everything, 4% only passes. Where you got A plus and entrance exam and everything is done to get an admission. That's status. But I'm sure what they learn in the early childhood, they will remember throughout their life. You ask them who is your best teacher, they will still remember the KG teachers. But if you do syllabus and ask them to, what do you, the maximum number of times which you repeat in younger classes, what is the sentence? Yeah. Keep quiet. Silence, please. Stop this at least. Don't ask them to keep quiet. They are not supposed to keep quiet. They are children. Don't use this word. Understood? I asked somebody, what is your name? His name was Pradeep. No, Pradeep. I said, why no, Pradeep? Yeah, that's what every time I heard. No, Pradeep. No, Pradeep. Understood? Why? Is there a yes, Pradeep in this world? No. No mother, no father, no teachers. Nobody says yes. Everybody says no. Our value system, write down all that what you have instructions for children. Everything starts with a no. Most of them. Very rarely you see yes. So it's a negative world. Understood? I am a meditation master from Himalayan tradition. I don't do meditation because this class is meditation for me. Why should I close my eyes and think about the traffic jam in Hyderabad, which I suffered while coming? Correct? Do you think I can close my eyes and then think, yeah, I did that maybe 30, 40 years back. We have mockerized the whole thing in this world, yeah. Have you seen any Bhagavan sitting in Shirshasana position? Huh? If Shirshasana position was prescribed in Yoga Shastra by Patanjali, he would have seen some god in front of him in Shirshasana position, right? Huh? Ganesha would have been a gentleman with a good physique if he would have been in today's world, right? But what it says is, even if you have a big belly, you can run. Physical fitness is not physical fitness. It is a mental status. Quote this. Sharira manaso yoga paraspara manuvrajet adhara adheya bhavena taptajya khadayoriva. Hada Yoga Pradipika. Ask your yoga teachers, has he read Hada Yoga Pradipika? Sharira manaso yoga. The body and the mind is such related. What it? It is such related. The manas. You chant a mantra before yoga. What is that mantra? Praising the great guru of yoga. Who is that great guru of yoga? Patanjali. What is that sloka? Kayena Yogena Chittasya. Chittam is manas. And what do you do? Yogena Chittasya. Yogena Chittasya. What does it mean? Yoga is for manas. Padena Vaja. You have to be communication skill. Should be good. But is your yoga teacher communicative? If he is not able to communicate well, how can he call that my Acharya is? Patanjali was a doctor of a psychiatrist. But he is not the first psychiatrist. I will tell you the story. There are a lot of great psychiatrists. He only followed great psychiatrists from Ramayana's period. Patanjali is not as old as Rama. Rama is much more older, right? Correct or not? Krishna is next yuga, 8 lakhs years. No, 12 lakhs years. We don't know exactly. Because Krida Yuga, when he died, we don't know. Dwapara Yuga and Krishna died. So Dwapara Yuga is 8 lakhs years. So Krida Yuga, if you would have started, then 8 plus 12, it would have been 20 lakhs years back. Rama. So Yogena Chittasya Padena Vaja, my Padam, my words. Where did I start? Words have to be created, right? Vocabulary has to be good. So he is a god of vocabulary. Acharya of vocabulary. Who? You don't know this. You never knew. Patanjali was a linguistics man. He was your language teacher. But you know only him as a circus man, right? Poor fellow, he never prescribed any of these. He never asked people to sit in Padmasana. Sukha Asana. Sukha Asana, you are in Sukha Asana. I am not in Sukhasana. If I can sit, I will be in Sukhasana. But sitting in Padmasana is so difficult for normal human being. Unless you are a young child. Young child can put the toes to the... You cannot do it. You don't have to do it also. If you can do it, you are a great yogi. No. Patanjali never told this. That is Iyengar's. Iyengar made all these gymnastics. But you don't chant for him. You chant for and do Iyengar's. Actually, it is too bad, right? You quote mine and then give credit to somebody else. Padena vaja malam sharirasya vaidyakena cha. He is a doctor who treats your physical problems. What is your physical problem? Full of dirt inside. Why dirt inside? When I take breath, what goes inside? Air, which has got how much percentage of oxygen? Average 20% in a village. Here maybe 16%. Hyderabad. And you go to your house is in Medipatnam in an apartment. You do. What are you inserting? All the pollution of TSRTC. Don't do this. This is prescribed only in clean India. Come to my village. Stay there in the mid of forest. Then do this. Don't do pranayama. Vivekananda himself told. Vivekananda is not here. He's the great man. Don't meditate, don't do any of these asanas on crossroads. He knew traffic jam will be there, pollution will be there. He told long back. Don't do it in cities. You are unfit. But everything happens in cities. And first row, 15 lakhs. Second row, 10 lakhs. People sell it like this. What a stupid meditation, group meditation. What is group? You are going inside you is samadhi, yeah? My and my wife went together for what? Samadhi. Is it called samadhi? Understood? Why are you mockerizing? Because you didn't ask this question. Meaning of every sloka. Understood? But teach this. You should teach this. Like the nursery rhymes you teach, you don't know the meaning. But if later you can ask the meaning. Understood? Understood? I may not know the meaning when my mother taught me. Lot of slokas. But it took 40 years for me to realize, oh, this is from Devi Mahatmyam. I never knew that. The textbook was not there. So all of us are teaching this. Don't think that we are physically making them fit by this. We are making them unfit most of the time. Wrong things are being taught. But that is also wonderful. India is such a place where anything can be taught. You can put Yogacharya. What a great title, yeah, Yogacharya. Acharya, he is practicing. And soon after that, he will go to hospital. He is sick. Correct? Understood? So, Yogena Chittasya, Padena Vacha, Malam Sharirasya, Vaidya Kena. Then Yopakarottam Pravaram Muninam, the greatest of the greatest Muni, who has all these qualifications. Patanjalim, I am doing a namaskaram to you. Are you, when chanting this, really understanding the meaning or not? If not, no, nothing wrong. You could have written, I am useless. But tomorrow onwards, you should become, I am useless. Understood? Think, ask. Good enough? I can go on and on, hours together. If you are ready, I give 48 hours sessions. Non-stop. I have done 10 days without sleep camps. I was much better earlier. I used to have 6,000 students. 3,000 teachers on a teacher's day. I was called by Tamil Nadu, teacher's day. I said, how many teachers? I need a lot of teachers. How many hours? Inauguration? No. Half an hour I will not come. 6 hours. No tea break, no lunch break. Your Madhya Pradesh will work only when Uttar Pradesh doesn't work. Are you getting? If your Madhya Pradesh is working, understand you are not here. I am talking. When somebody comes to pick up, what do you see? Her sari or what? Or in between sari you are seeing or what? Why are you, your attention goes there what? I don't ask attention please, I don't ask. But naturally your intention should be correct. How does it matter if a bomb blast also you should not? Should continue your job. That has to be the attention power. This is what is tested and you give this as a story for Arjuna. But you don't have that. And you beg in your classroom, please listen to me, please look at me. What is that? Such a nasty face. How do I look at them? If Amitabh Bachchan would have been in the class, Shah Rukh Khan, suppose your biology teacher is Aishwarya Rai, how the students will look at yeah. Shah Rukh Khan is your physics teacher, Hindi is being taught by Amitabh Bachchan. Good, no? You should also turn to be like that. Should invest time. You trim well. Understood? You smile. Make, doesn't matter. How does it matter, yeah? It may be physics. That doesn't mean. Some schools, no, physics teachers are useless, maths teachers are useless. All podium who will come is only English teachers, right? So they wish, I would have been an English teacher. I would have been in podium. You should change. Think that you are a teacher of every subject. Okay? Go to your physics class and then ask, what did you learn physics in the last class? You may be an English teacher, doesn't matter. Then you will learn, no? When I was in maths, MSc in Cochin University, I had a great professor whose name was Ramanujan. Very bright professor. He used to cycle and come. He is from Tiruchirappalli. He don't come in car, scooter, cycle. Great gentleman. When he comes, English was fabulous. He says, if you don't know music, speak about music. If you don't know music, speak about music. Somebody will come and tell you, you did all this wrong. Then ask them, what is it? So that you can learn. Got it? Don't hesitate. What is required is the courage, which you don't have, but young children have. You want to learn like a child. What is that you require? Courage. That's why I said, I can make children to learn, but not you. Got it? We'll break now. But when you come back, that courage you should have. You know the word for that courage for children? It's a buzzword among pre-primary, nursery, LKG, UKG students. It's a buzzword. You should have this, then you can learn. I don't know whether you're using it. GRIT, grit. You don't know that English word? Google. Very simple. Google and find out what grit means. That's a courage. The courage to ask questions. I want all of you to be in grit. What is that? If you don't have, I will show my grit on you. No escape. All of you should. So, the break is only to recollect what I told so far. Discuss each other. Decide what you can ask. Come back and sit only when you have questions. If questions are not there, you go and sit there in a corner. Get questions, come here. Got it? The first person who comes will sit there. In the same sequence it should go. Understood? Once the first line is over, she is an akrami. This is in kramam, in a sequence. Those who change kramam is called a... What a beautiful language is Sanskritam, right? No? Kramam is order. What is not in kramam is called a akramam. Who does akramam is called akrami. So, sit in the same order. Look, my chair is exactly in front. No vacant chairs in between. These are all some disciplines. If you do that in your KG class, don't allow them to come and sit here and there. The first person in this, second person. Every day the order will change. I'll tell you a lot of tricks in your class. And the person will feel, I am the first. Good enough. Everywhere they go, they will be like that. Got it? You will see, go for many programs, you will see so disciplined people I know. Oh, this school is disciplined. Not because of the carpet is red or green. That doesn't matter. Whether you have that discipline or not. When I stand there or sit there, the vacant seat, this is the class should have always, everybody should be movable. So what should happen? The last two rows you remove there, so that there is sufficient space there, right? You have seen cinema theatres, the sides will have. But today it is changed, the center only will have. Earlier, sides were vacant. That's how it should be arranged. I don't know, somebody started this mechanism, everybody does it. That is, earlier guests used to come in the center from the back. For that, a red carpet is given. That's how in the front a red carpet. But today nobody comes from the right. So do you have to change. Think, why is it so? Ask this question. Everything what is around you, ask question, why? Is there a logic or not? Identify logic, then you are creative. So ask a lot of logics to me. Okay? Don't believe because somebody else is telling. Don't just believe because somebody else is telling. Anyatranamavatyajam apyuktam brahmagad. Yukti yuktam upadeyam. Yukti yuktam upadeyam. Logically somebody must explain. Yukti yuktam. Yukti is logic. Yukti yuktam upadeyam. Vachanam balakadapi. Even a small child comes and tells you this is not correct. Accept it. Ask him logic. Anyatranamavatyajam. Discard it. Just because somebody else is telling, don't listen. You may lose your job, doesn't matter. But if you're logical, good, in this world, plenty of jobs will come to you. Got it? So, have that grit, that is called courage. The courage is not there, you don't speak out. Use that courage. God bless you.